Hey guys, it's Frogboy. I just want to do a quick reaction to the Hex Pulsechain quick dive, the ultimate 101 with CryptoEmpress. I haven't listened to it yet, so let's listen to it together. You'll hear my raw reactions and all that. And yeah, let's see what the latest intel is. Let's see where the wavelength is for the Richard Hart team. Because they've obviously set it up with CryptoEmpress. I went through a Web3 marketing agency and landed on her. So let's try and make sense of it. Yeah, the mic sounds good. What do you guys think about Fast? I get a few comments outside on Twitter saying, hey, yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think of Fast. I don't really know much about it. Okay, so it sounds like I just assumed it was Richard Hart and his team reaching out. There's a chance that it was done via Fast Abdul or other people high up in the ecosystem or something like that in the High Council. I don't know what you call it, but interesting because I'm trying to wear. Let's wear some glasses where, okay, someone has reached out to CryptoEmpress and the whole marketing Web3 team to facilitate this talk. So I think we're going to find out more on that.
I also want to address a few comments I've seen recently. I understand the space has had a share of questionable personalities and sponsored content. So I'm not here as a cult. I'm a community builder who genuinely believes in the power of education and real conversation. So,
okay, so she's not labeling herself as a KOL, key opinion leader. She's labeling herself as a community builder. So, I mean, that was in the marketing pitch as well on a website and all that jazz as well. So that's a cool, different take, right? I suppose that's her edge when it comes to her services that she provides. Not a KOL, but a community builder. She was never paid to learn about the ecosystem. And we can take her for a word on that and believe it, but that doesn't mean that she isn't going to be paid. Okay, she clearly said she was never paid, which basically means that she's talking about her past tense. And yeah, so just keep that in mind. Okay, it doesn't mean I'm just downloading stuff in the background, doing some work as well, but in the background it's downloading. It doesn't mean that she isn't being paid, okay? She may say she was never paid, but obviously, guys, take her for the word. She was never paid yet.
System. So I'd rather have it, you kind of hearing it from me, coming from me. So I really want to say that.
I'm just assuming that, okay? We just gotta be realistic on this, on all this stuff, okay? You know, she's not just gonna do it for free. Okay, so she wants to diversify her portfolio, and I'm being biased here, you know, so please take with a grain of salt my reactions and stuff like that, because I'm coming from already a prejudged position. So when she says that I'm thinking about this, these are the reasons why I want you guys on, etc., etc., I'm assuming essentially that these are her talking points. These are the reasons why the space is being hosted. These are the reasons that were given from whoever organized it, from Fast or Richard Hart or whoever, right? They would have gone to CryptoEmpress and said, hey, here are the reasons why we need this space and why we want you to do it, blah, blah, blah. You know, obviously we'll take you up on your services, pay you, etc., whatever. It's just business as usual. But the key points and the key things that they want to go over are these talking points. So it seems like community building, healing some of the tension and the drama within the ecosystems, and getting the word out there for people to diversify and look into Pulsechain and Hex and you know, raise attention, awareness of it. So just keep in mind my prejudice.
And in what ways is it different from traditional cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum?
I can see in our panel here we have Corey Geary. Do you want to take a shot at that one, Corey?
Sure. So Hex is a certificate of deposit on the blockchain. So instead of mining, that's what Bitcoin is. The Bitcoin, when you mine it, you get more Bitcoin. With Hex, you can stake it and you can time lock it to receive more Hex over time. And so The inflation works by what's called T shares. When you buy Hex, you have to use your Hex to purchase more T shares. The T shares is what pays you the Hex. So that's the simplest way I can really explain it. But I mean, really, what it's drawn me to this crypto asset. Obviously, Richard Hart brought me here, but what kept me here is the community. So the community that revolves around Hex is the real reason why I'm here, and that is a true asset of the entire ecosystem. And the Pulse chain, all the assets is this community. The community, I've not found anything like this, or none they are.
Oh, I don't know. You got caught up at the end. Mic check. Do you stay around, or did the blockchain get you? Oh no. Did we lose him fast? Okay. Yeah. So just go back down and come right back up. We'll bring you back up. Sometimes that happens, but that's what's expected, right, guys? This is kind of like if you're not getting run in your own space, we are not doing it right, so that's always expected. But I did get the gist of it, and he did talk about staking. So I do want to kind of talk a little bit about that a little bit more in depth, if you guys allow me. So how does staking work in Hex, and what are the benefits and incentives to participate?
So we have Kairos on stage. Do you want to address that, sir?
Yeah, I'd be happy to address that. So first thing I want to say is CryptoEmpress, thanks for having this space and for inviting all of us on. We're very grateful that you're willing to hear us out and give us a chance to talk about our community and what we're all about over here at Hex and Pulsechain. What do I say about the staking and like what makes Hex so special is when you think about a lot of yield-bearing assets, such as CDs at the bank that we typically get compared to. We think of we often say Hex for like the elevator pitch is that it's a CD on the blockchain. But I got a better way to describe it is that Hex is the only yield-bearing asset that is not somebody else's liability. Nobody is liable or responsible for paying the yield on Hex. It is built into the program. You can think of it as easy rewards on autopilot that's automatic. You're not dependent on a company to be profitable to pay the yield or pay the interest to you. You're not dependent on a government to be solvent to pay the interest to you. It just happens as part of the code and it's a supply increase program. You can also think of it as being like the subscription or preemptive rights that you would get in common stock. If you're from a TradFi, you're familiar with how common stock works. They give you preemptive rights sometimes whenever they want to issue more shares of common stock, and they say, well, we don't want to dilute our current shareholders and upset them, so we'll give them first dibs on the new shares that we're going to issue so they can maintain their proportionate share of their ownership. But in Hex, it's like getting those preemptive rights, but you don't have to pay for them when you're staking. They're paid to you as a reward for taking your coins off the market out of the circulating supply and upholding the price. So think of it as a game where patience levels you up, because the longer the stake, the bonus, the greater the multipliers, the greater the bonus and everything. And that's really the advantage and the draw to staking your Hex on top of investing in Hex.
Well, first of all, it's a pleasure meeting you. Also, I did give you a follow, and I have to say that was a great explanation of how, you really kind of nailed it. And another thing is, like, if you really believe in something, I mean, even myself, like, I like the long-term kind of, staking where
She couldn't even repeat it. It was a great explanation of... Yeah, it was great. It's like... like, if it was Look, guys, seriously, if it was a really good explanation, she would have been like, oh, yes, oh my gosh, I love your... analogy or the way you put it, or your 1-2 formula, or your sentence, or your words. Like, but bro, that was just gibberish. It was just technical jargon. It was just mechanical, I don't know, a mechanical word candy for your ears to hear. I don't know, it was so bad. What is Hex and all that jazz? Oh, it's a CD deposit banking, staking yield. How about you just say it's a coin that makes you money while you sleep or something like that? Ooh, like, man.
Well, that you don't even have to think about it. You just traditional cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum.
What is Hex, and how does it differ? That was the question. Okay, cool. Let's skip through a little bit.
What do I say about the staking and like what makes Hex so special is when you think about a lot of yield-bearing assets, it is that built and pay for them when you're staking.
You don't even have to think about it. You just kind of get these.
That's really the advantage and the draw to staking your Hex on top of investing in Hex.
Well, first of all, it's a pleasure meeting you. Also, I did give you a follow, and I have to say that was a great explanation of how, you really kind of nailed it. And another thing is, like, if you really believe in something, I mean, even myself, like...
Yeah, that was a really good explanation. Yeah, about... You really nailed it. Oh. Good on Empress for doing... She's good at her job, and I do respect her. Like, I respect the girl and her work. And so when you hear me laugh, at something she says, it's not me laughing at her, it's me laughing at the whole premise or idea of like, damn it, she asked a question and we failed in answering that question, and it's like, no, shit, no. And she's doing her best, she's doing her job, right? She's doing her job and she's doing good, so just take it from me. I'm not laughing at her. I'm laughing at us.
Like,
So
the next question I do want to kind of say is, how does Hex and Pulsechain relate, and how do they complement each other within the broader ecosystem?
Ooh, that's a pretty good question. See, we have Triplet Dad as a speaker.
That's a good question. Okay, so Hex and Pulsechain, how do they relate? How do they complement each other? I like that. I want to hear this. Guys, I'm excited to hear this question because I was asking similar questions a few days ago, and I'm just hoping that we can get some fun, memorable answers that will hit me in the emotions so that I'm more motivated to buy this stuff.
He's kind of an all-around guy. Do you want to tackle that, sir? How do Hex and Pulsechain work together to complement each other?
So my opinion on that is that
I would never have even joined X, honestly, if it wasn't for this ecosystem. It's not typical of my day-to-day is joining in and being part of an online community, but I was drawn to it through all the people within this community, Past Abdul, RH Max, KG down there. The community within X is unbelievable within Pulsechain. We have all the projects that are launching on Pulsechain have a profile here on X, and it's where we come to get our news on a daily basis. And if you want to drill down a little bit more, they go into some Telegram rooms, right? But the Pulsechain community on X, I don't think there's any other community with any other ecosystem that even touches this one.
No, and I actually could kind of relate to something that you just said. Me too. I would have never got into X.
What was the question again? I thought the question was something else. How did Pulsechain and Hex, and how does it relate? How do they complement each other? And I'm not sure who answered that question, but he said just then, yeah, our community is great. Man, did we just miss that question? I hope it gets re-answered.
If I didn't know about meme coins, I think everybody, we could all agree. My first literally meme coin was Shiba Inu, and I had no clue. Everybody just said, hey, by the way, you need to be on X because that's where everybody's at, and they're talking about crypto. And then they introduced the Telegram, and I was like, what the hell is
It's going on for a while now. It's been it's been years. People really in the Pulsechain community really push it on X. I think we are probably the latest community in crypto.
for sure.
To just add some stuff to what Max said, the portability of stakes within Hex is very, very important when we're talking about security. I know that CryptoEmpress, if you were into meme coins, you probably just hopped in with a hot wallet and had your 12-word seed phrase and didn't have a ledger or a Trezor sitting in front of it. Having stakes that are portable so you can undo some of the things that you've done in the past is a luxury that we don't have, didn't have in the past, right? So if you do start stakes within the Hex ecosystems, there's several options out there. There's HSIs, there's the perpetuals, there's some stuff that we've built, stakeouts, there's a actuator. There's a lot of ways to participate in Hex, and if you have a problem with a wallet or you get a funny feeling or if you have...
Guys, what the hell? We're talking about Hex again? I mean, that's good, but we didn't even answer her question. Unless I'm wrong, please, like, I really want these answers. You know what I mean? I really do. CryptoEmpress asked, you know, what is Pulsechain and how does it relate and complement Hex? And then someone answered, and then they said, our community is great, and now we're talking about X community, and now we're talking about portability of Hex stakes again. Oh man, what?
I did kind of want to just talk a little bit about what is Pulsechain and why was it launched, and separate blockchain, and what makes Pulsechain an attractive option for developers compared to Ethereum, especially when launching dApps and new projects.
Ooh, come on, this is awesome. All right, cool, a fun question. Let's hope that we can get an answer that doesn't circle back to Hex and staking and give us money, please, to relieve us of our pain.
So we have KG from Internet Money here, who has developed a wallet for Pulsechain, Internet Money wallet. Also works on all other EVM chains. Do you want to comment on that, KG?
By the way, I was just a quick tangent. I was on MetaMask, yeah, on the mobile and doing Pulsechain stuff, and it kind of sucked. But then I imported over to the Internet Money wallet, and it's been really, really good. I really am enjoying it. It's been fantastic. So
figure it out. If someone launches a cool new feature, all of the Pulsechain influencers and just community in general, it's so easy to spread a message across Pulsechain. So if you're a builder and you're looking for that early startup, early stage support, that is the hardest thing for any project in crypto to accomplish, of building that community. If you come to Pulsechain and you build something good, you're going to get instant support and basically instant virality in this community. So I would say that, and my builders know how hard it is to get your name out there. That I would say is the primary builder benefit of Pulsechain.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. I love that.
That was a really good answer. That I really like that. Hell yeah, that's a win. Good on them. This guy. So Pulsechain was a big reason why Pulsechain existed, was just to facilitate ending stakes, because the cost of ending stakes and doing staking things on Ethereum was super expensive. That's interesting. I did not really know that at all.
Once because
Go ahead.
I didn't really catch much of what Cairo was saying there. I'm sorry, guys. That was just like going over my head there. Look, I do have a bias when there is technical jargon talk. It's just like, unless they can really simplify it down into a nice digestible manner, like, hey, buy Hex and you stake it and it makes money overnight. The end. That I can play with.
Pump into Pulsechain.
And for those who can, eat more of that technical jargon, good on you guys. I respect that. I just like things to be quick, efficient, easy, and fun.
Into Hex. What is the best avenues for users to participate and get involved in Pulsechain and Hex? What decks are you guys on? What exchanges are you currently listed on? Share some of that information with the community if you can.
AG, I see you probably have some ideas of how people can get onto the chain. What do you got?
Hey guys, can I just jump in really quick? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I have like maybe 3 minutes.
Go for it, Tam.
Hello everyone, my name is Tam, and I'm at work. I'm in between patients right now, so I'm sorry. I don't have long to speak. But
All right. So, yes, I believe that what CryptoEmpress and all of her listeners here probably want to hear is, why should they invest in Hex, in the sense of, like, how is Hex and Pulsechain going to make them money?
Yes. Oh my god. 50 minutes in. Fuck. I asked him the same question and Tam and all that like 2 days ago, and I was disappointed, so I'm excited to hear this answer to see if they've improved. I am excited.
Cairo's law, and that is that M2 growth is the baseline of all bull runs in crypto. The reason the crypto cycle happens at all is because of M2 growth. And so what I'm working on is I'm trying to
for that info. And again, like, this is what I mean, like so many things and so many I love having a panel just because I love listening to everybody's passion. And
No, that's not a mic drop worthy moment. Let's see what she says.
go. I know what is PulseX and what role does it play within the Pulsechain ecosystem, and how can users benefit from it?
Guys, remember one of her second question? What is Pulsechain and how does it? How does Pulsechain complement and relate to Hex? It was not answered. And now, still 56 minutes in.
We have any PulseX maxis in the crowd?
Yeah, I did. Can you guys hear me live and direct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I wanted to say, number one, out of all the rigid heart tokens, in my humble opinion, PulseX has the best tokenomics because it buys and burns itself. And also, I was going to add to Fast Abdul's point about Ink. In my opinion, Ink is one of the most important tokens of this ecosystem. And I know a lot of people will disagree with me, but to me personally, the reason why is that because that is your exit liquidity long term, right? Because when the farms do become profitable again, and when people add to the farms, guess what happens? So that's why Ink, to me personally, is one of the most important tokens in the ecosystem. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you for that. And I know that we do have a lot more other speakers coming up, and it's always a pleasure to meet everybody here at the panel. Everybody should be following, guys.
What? What? Okay, so
because when the farms do become profitable again, and when people add to the farms, guess what happens? That.
When people exit the farms, guess what happens?
So that's why Ink, to me personally, is one of the most important tokens in the ecosystem. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Look, for him to come on and only say something so straight to the point and this and that and very clearly, I like it.
Do some kind of like a convention. Does Pulsechain and Hex have a convention that every year, or am I crazy?
Does Pulsechain have a convention every year? From what I see, there's like a convention for Pulse and Hex and all that jazz like every quarter online on YouTube. And from what I understand, our friends tell us that, hey, it's great for when you want to push down the price. It's like sell.
We sure do.
RH Max is done
around the world. I think I just saw one that happened in Australia not too long ago.
I'm really curious because like I hear about all these marketing things. Well, I don't know. I don't even think calling them marketing things is appropriate. These conferences, when I see the Pulsechain conferences being hosted on YouTube by RH Maxi or Crypto Coffee, whoever, right? Matty Allen, like the only people watching are those from within the chain. am I wrong? Are there, am I wrong there? Am I entirely wrong? Am I a little bit wrong? Most of the audience is just people from within the chain, not from the outside. Now, does that same idea apply to these physical locations and physical events and physical conferences? I don't know. I'm not sure, but that's my take on it. Because I'm watching the conference and there's, like I only see people from within the chain saying, hey, yeah, nice, in the comments and the live feeds and all that jazz, saying, hey man, whatever. Like there was, at least from when I was last watching RH Maxis and Matty Allen's, I did not see from memory people from outside saying, hey, this is awesome, blah 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 blah. You know what I mean?
Community's great. We definitely put in work.
And
it's interesting to hear RH Maxi say that they onboarded 30 to 50 people from the physical event or so. I think he was referring to the physical event. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But he also mentioned 36 hours worth of content of this Pulsechain conference, right? I remember watching it and it was so... Man, it was just dry. It's like I'm running out of words here.
I love that. I love that everybody's bringing something to the table and
Yeah, can I just jump in? I just want to ask a question. What's your intuition after hearing all these fantastic influencers break down Hex and explain about the tokens? What do you feel yourself regarding Pulsechain?
Oh man, so I was talking too fast earlier, and I did open a space today, and
that was a really good question, guys. That's probably one of the... Man, like, my gosh, it's good. It's so good to hear someone come up and actually ask her a question and get her insight. She's the only outsider here, her and her husband. They're the only outsiders here. Hello, and we're not even squeezing that lemon. We're not getting their impressions, what we need to improve on, what our fears are, what our strengths are, blah blah blah, where we can connect, where's the equilibrium, what's it gonna take for us to sell this freaking chain to them. We're not doing any of that. We're just circle jerking over ourselves here, and we've got Hex Maxis thinking inside the box, going completely dry, desert-like, with their and then Pulse Maxis blocking me because they don't know any better. Man, let's hear this question.
After hearing all these fantastic influencers break down Hex and explain about the tokens, what do you feel yourself regarding Pulsechain?
That is such a good question. Well done.
oh man, so I was talking too fast earlier, and I did open a space today, and I had my questions. Obviously, when I do like research, those are kind of like the basic stuff that I like to kind of work and then work my way up. And I'm all about like community. I want to know that I know that my money's going to be working regardless if I'm doing something else, but like there is a community behind what I'm investing. And today I have to say, you guys are really loud community, from good and bad. You know, I can handle most of you guys. I kid you not, like in crypto, if you're a woman, I've been called all the words in the book. Trust me, your words do not impact me anymore. I have thick skin and we have to be this way, you know, and I'm sorry to say this, but it's the game, part of the game, you know. There's people that are just very miserable and I feel sorry for you. Like, that's not my life. But the fact that it would have to be this way, you know, and I'm sorry to say this, but it's the game, part of the game, you know. There's people that are just very miserable and I feel sorry for you. Like, that's not my life. But the fact that it was just a few people, but everything else really, like the community, I kind of love everything that you guys are doing, how you guys show up for one another, the fact that everybody's bringing value to your channels, you know, you're talking about it, you're spending your own time to share information. Like, I'm telling you guys, that is priceless. Even for myself, like, I'm here. I'm still going. Normally those spaces go for 1 hour, but I'm listening to the community. That's what drives me, like you guys. So I told Fast that, and I was like, it's kind of nice to see that. Like, yeah, for sure. Like I'm getting kind of bullish to kind of see, oh, okay, I probably need to dive more into it, this whole ecosystem. So that's what my take is. Like, I'm definitely gonna keep doing my research and talk to Fast, because he's really knowledgeable, and also he breaks it down to my questions like the way that I need to be kind of taught or learned. So thank you for that question. But yeah, I'm kind of excited for the community, like who showed up. You know, for me, it's more about bringing value to our ecosystem. So with that said, bye guys, love you.
Thank you, CryptoEmpress.
Alrighty guys, I've been listening to that for the past, whatever, hour and 47 minutes or so, I'm not even sure. But honestly, gut impressions, initial impressions, reflexes, reactions, what are they? Pretty boring, pretty dry, pretty monotone. Our influencers here are not good marketers. I'm just staring at the screen and I'm just thinking, man, they didn't even mention pump tires once. Did you guys pick up on that? They did not mention pump tires once. They didn't answer the question of how Pulsechain relates to Hex and how it complements each other and all that jazz. They talked a lot about the technical jargon about Hex staking, and there was lots about talking about the community, which is awesome. You know, it's super valuable. But man, there was a bit of fresh air when one of them asked, I forgot who it was, but man, to think that this was for outsiders, like I am assuming, like they say it's for her community of investors and all that jazz, but so far 2,800 people tuned in. I just assume that's just the people in Pulse and Hex. That's it. I'm not, like, I'm looking at that number and I'm thinking, nah. And same with her. I'm just assuming that with her other spaces as well, it's just for the people within that community to listen to, not so much outside and connecting. Think of this space, this Empire Hub space, as a canvas for you to build out exactly and paint out exactly how you want your I don't know, crypto community to be, right? This is a good canvas for you to start painting on. I mean, look, 1,400 people tuned in there, okay? And that's just the broke community. So it's just the communities that are coming in and tuning in. That's how I'm looking at it. 300, no, that's not it there. Let's look for another one. Load them up. Not that. 1.4, that's the one we just saw before. Let's just find one more space. Monday check-in. I'm looking, guys. Monday check-in, 184 people. Yeah, it is definitely just the Pulse space and Hex and Pulse. It's just rich heart people that are deep within, you know, deep in pain, deep with losses, etc. Okay, I mean that's how I'm seeing it and calling it. I could be completely wrong, guys, but you know, that's my gut saying, yeah, it's just Pulse and Hex. Okay, she's really good at what she does, right? So like, she'll facilitate the questions for us to grow, and it gives the community a chance to answer, but the answers are so dry, so monotone, so lame. It's sad. I don't want to hear about CD deposit, blah blah blah, staking, oh my god. I just want to hear, like, you know, is this a good investment? Will my money go up? Why? tell it to me in a sentence. A lot of these people, from what I understand, are deep in the pain, 99% losses. So of course they're going to be doing as much as they can in terms of work to pump up their bags, but they need to do a better job, in my opinion. And I want them to do a better job. It frustrates me from a hater of Pulsechain and Hex from the start. Now that I'm in because of RH memes, because this is fun and exciting, and it just makes so much sense, and I don't need, it's just like, oh, so easy, so fresh, so clean. Yeah, super disappointed. I did like Instant Money. He was well, what he's done is really good, and I think his answer was pretty good. Yeah, guys, it's just like, what? Don't even bother listening. Don't even bother listening to this one. Don't even bother. Is this something that you're going to send to, like a friend or family? Like, personally, an hour and 47 minutes, and the value in terms of the answers to the critical questions. The answers themselves are just so dry. I'm really disappointed. I wish you could see my face. And maybe you will see my face one day. But right now, I'm just like, oh, man, do better. Please, let's do better than this. My gosh. Like, for example, I'm going to call out Tam Tam, even though she's doing a lot of great work. Someone who only promotes Hex and also RH Maximalist, just as worse. And look, he's even blocked me. Like, I would love to just jump on a stream with him and tell our brother here to wake the fuck up, because it's just so bad, man. I hope this energy can come through, spark a little bit of emotion within your gut to be like, you know what? Thanks for this value in emotion and clarity. I feel more hardened on the RH memes narrative, or something else, right? You know, you have more data and more context. But man, this sucked. As an outsider looking in, boring as hell. Shout out to CryptoEmpress for being good at what she does. She's really good at what she does, right? And someone asked a question, and it was one good question, like, what are your thoughts on the community now that you've listened to all those answers? And she's like, yeah, they're definitely more interested. And she was being truthful, because that was not scripted, right? You know, a lot of that is scripted in a sense, but that genuine reaction from her to answer that question, it was really fresh to hear. It wasn't just like, oh yeah, I do it for the community, you know, like we could ask her any question and she'll already have preloaded on her tongue that she's going to be connecting it back to, oh yeah, community investors, I'm all about building community. Like, we know that, we assume that, we expect that. But her answer was telling, and we did not squeeze the lemon, guys. We did not take advantage of the two outsiders here. We had two outsiders here, and the rest were Pulsekins and Hexikins, and we were just circle jerking amongst ourselves in a circle and tooting our own horns, and not actually selling it, not selling the product and the whole anything. Rigid Heart wasn't even mentioned much. Pump tires wasn't even mentioned. Like, what the hell, man? Pulsechain is way bigger than DeFi, and Hex is bigger than staking. Hex is a meme for a lot of people. You know? So guys, I hope that helps. I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna edit this and shorten it and all that jazz. But long story short, disappointed. You don't need to listen to that yourself. unless you want to verify and you know, have a re-listen, then go for it. But would I recommend it for a family or friend for them to listen to this? No. Would I recommend these maxis, these speakers here, get better at selling and marketing and just cutting through the fluff and releasing their pain? They're addicted to the 99% pain, and they're in the cocoon. They're too scared to rip open and blossom as a butterfly and fly off into freedom. They don't want that freedom. They're much comfortable here amongst their own group, sharing the pain. That's it. It's pathetic. It is pathetic. It is pathetic. It is pathetic. Man. That's why I enjoy the RH memes narrative so much, because it's a protest against this shit. It is pathetic crap. RH memes is a protest and a challenge and a big FU to this propaganda, dogma, crap, stigma, thinking, wavelengths, ideas, circle jerking, all of that. It's a protest against that. It's a big FU. It's saying F all of that stuff and crap and dread. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna do our own thing, and we're gonna grow the whole chain and ecosystem and bring a lot of fun and popularity and dancing and celebrations and riches and good times to the whole chain. It's a protest. It's saying F you to all of this. Oh, jeez, man. Anyway, I'm gonna go to sleep now because I'm tired. I'll see you guys later.